Today, I came across this tweet from Rich, ReviewTechUSA. Again, I don't know who anybody is, but I do know that he's been involved in the Ackman situation, and that he mentioned that he got a strike against his channel, so he's no longer really going to focus on the channel, something along those lines. I was like, okay, you know, unfortunate. And I get the whole Ackman situation is crazy. You know, Ackman got demonetized. It looked like they were just looking for an excuse. Unfortunately, they have a justifier on it because he did, even though they were jokes, and I know that they were clear jokes, he did threaten to dox YouTube employees. And I understand you guys are like, well, it's clear jokes. I get it. But, like, I just don't know how to communicate to a lot of you guys that, like, any business would have made the same decision across the board because that's, I mean, they take even joking threats seriously. It's just a pretty standard business practice. Probably has things to do with liability. Like in all honesty, and I don't think Ackman would ever do it, but imagine Ackman did do it. And they had made those threatening jokes, you know? And then the employees were like, why didn't you protect us, kind of a thing? So you kind of have to nowadays. It's unfortunate. He gave him an excuse to punish him. I think that there was probably a motivator there to just go after him because he was criticizing YouTube. But you pushed a little too far, and unfortunately you got nay-nayed a little bit. That being said, I saw Rich say this. I'm sure the people are going to call me a racist after they see the video, but I don't care. The people who follow me know that I'm not. Someone has to have the balls to say what I said. So I'm just genuinely curious. What is it that what did he say? What could he have possibly have said that would make people think he's racist? So that's why I watched the video.
I'm going to write talking points for this video, but
I'm sorry.
I know what I'm going to say. And I'd rather it just come off the cuff because I kind of want to shoot from the hip with this video and be 100% sincere. Okay. And just having the thoughts and emotions come to my head and me speaking them into this microphone is the best way to go about it. Okay. And for the 1 million+ people who decided to subscribe to me throughout the years, not that I get 1 million views per video, but for those of you who still support me and watch, thank you. You are owed.
Hey, listen, brother, 50,000 views on this video? Sheesh, I'll take it. You know, that's crazy. Imagine posting the 50,000 views, getting them every day you post. That's great. Bro, why you gotta say regular weight Papa Gut? Why you gotta come at me like that, dude? Come on, dude. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Video, and I think it's important to make because it is what is going to happen with this channel going forward. Okay. First and foremost, if you want to support me, there's 2 places you can do it. You could subscribe to RTU Streams, link below in the description. That's my secondary YouTube channel where there is no tape over my mouth. It is live streams. It is I'm kissing birds. It's, you may love it, you may hate it, but that's
what does that mean, kissing birds? Like saying bad boy curse words?
What is going to be primarily what I'm doing. And that's where I'll be. If you really want to support the show, I'll also have a link to becoming a member on RTU Streams, not this channel, on RTU Streams below in the description, and you could support me there. That would be a huge help. I usually don't ask for things like that, but it's not looking great for this channel. I'm going to, again, give a rundown as to what happened, and we'll go from there, and you could go from there, and you could decide what you want to do with ReviewTechUSA and if you want to continue to support me. Since 2013, I have been doing YouTube full-time. If I'm still here in June 2023, I will have been full-timing YouTube for a decade. YouTube will have been my living for an entire decade if I'm still on the platform. June 2023.
Living the dream, brother.
And I've always pushed boundaries. I've always talked about controversial topics. I've always put my very weird sense of humor into my videos. I've always been a brash guy, and that is what I built my brand on. In 2017, with the Adpocalypse, YouTube kneecapped me. Not that my videos got demonetized, luckily, because my channel was and always is a complete mess. I was able to adapt and avoid topics that would get me demonetized. But when that happened, the Adpocalypse in 2017, YouTube put a huge piece of metaphorical tape on my mouth. And topics I was genuinely passionate talking about, I could no longer talk about.
I wonder... Listen, I wasn't around for the Apocalypse, so take that as you will. What I do know is from like my experience, and I know from like the political commentary sphere experience, where people will say things that like can be very controversial, and they use very like loaded terms and words. And so, like, if you look at somebody like Destiny, like, yeah, and I do the same thing. Like, there's words that are used when you're talking about, like, you know, topics such as, like, you know, sexual assault culture and stuff like that. And my videos tend to not have an issue with getting monetized. And so I know back in the day during the Adpocalypse, like, everything was getting bombed. Like, I totally get that. But I think YouTube has changed quite a bit to a point where you can be a little looser in your language. Now, maybe that's not possible because the audience that consumes review tech is more sensitive and they would report more, whereas like political streamers aren't. But I feel like that's not true because I feel like political streaming audiences are annoying children who cry about literally everything. Well, maybe it's just me. I also know that like YouTube had to react that way. It's like a lot of people I think give YouTube a lot of shit for it, but I feel like YouTube kind of had to react that way, or they would have lost all advertisers, and then there would be no monetization left on the platform, and then none of us would have a job today. And it's an unfortunate reality, but it seems like from that point they've moved forward by like slowly allowing a little bit more, being a bit more charitable in the things that you could say and what you could do, as long as you're being respectful. You know, like testing the waters a little bit here and there, and then, you know, still being, you know, a little sensitive to something. So I don't know if you could no longer talk about some topics. What I do know though is that like it's an interesting conversation to have. So I don't know all of his content. If this is most of his content where he sits down and he does a bit of research on a topic and then he talks about it, which seems like he might do. I don't know if he's like a video essayist necessarily. I don't know. There's still probably some topics you could talk about that like you know, maybe the top, like I have videos that I make that still get demonetized, but I still make them. Like, again, especially if it's like a very deep video about a very controversial topic, it will get demonetized. Like we talked about that pastor the other day who, like, I don't want to say it here because I don't want to get demonetized here, but the pastor who took advantage of like a young 16-year-old girl when he was like 38 or something. That got demonetized, but I still posted it because I feel like it's necessary something. So if you're avoiding a topic, instead of avoiding it, why not just post two? You know, I don't know. I did not necessarily have it get monetized, maybe make a Patreon. Maybe I'm just talking too much, but I feel like there's ways around it. But I can also understand I didn't grow through that period, so I don't have the, I guess, the whatever PTSD or whatever you'd call it, of like potentially getting my whole channel, you know, demonetized. I'm also not nearly as big as this guy. I'm actually bigger than him, literally, but so maybe there's an additional stressor I put on larger content creators. I don't really know.
You know, a lot of people like my editor, I understand his point. He's like, Rich, you don't deal with demonetization that often. You don't deal with issues that often. I'm like, yeah, I know I don't. I don't because I handpick the things that to talk about that I know are safe. And I have been doing that for a very long time. But that doesn't even seem to be enough anymore. And YouTube has made it abundantly clear with the Quantum TV situation. I didn't bully YouTube, Quantum TV. I did not bully him, and you damn well know it. That was me just making jokes. It was criticism. It was not harassment. And
what video is he referring to? I wonder. Is it still up? Because I wonder.
You took that video down for bullying and for sexual whatever and nudity. Sexuality and nudity. Because of a cucumber? Because I talked about things that I talk about in streams on every stream?
What is it that he's referring to? Is it the video that Actman put up with the cucumber? Oh, wait. Okay. Is he...
Hello.
It sounds like they pulled a video down so it doesn't exist anymore.
You're a...
Okay. So it seems like he may have used some of the similar images that were the potential justifiers for flagging Quantum TV's video. And at that point, and if that's true, you're kind of playing with fire there. You know, and I'm just saying, like, you know, why would you do that? It's one of those things where like you get in the way of your own activism because you're giving them an excuse to go after you. That's the thing. It's like you when you talk about the topic, clearly, whether it's right or not, YouTube is monitoring this more than they probably should be. So you kind of have to live within the system that you're dealt with. So I feel like there's a better way to go about this situation than doing this. I feel like there's a better way. If you know YouTube's going to be super sensitive about any video about Quantum TV, then in those instances, I would say, you know, don't do the jokes. Don't put the pickle pictures, the cucumber pictures. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why give them an excuse to go after you? If they're being petty about Quantum TV for whatever reason, then maybe, take a deep breath. Try not to let your ego get in your way, because that's what's happening. I know that sounds so shitty, but it's like, I know I'm right. Like, here's the thing, bro. We've all been there. I know I'm right. That's the feeling. I know I'm right, and I know YouTube's wrong, and fuck you. Unfortunately, YouTube has the power, and you don't. So, unfortunately, you kind of have to play. You kind of have to play the game a little bit, man. Sometimes you have to take the fucking L, and you have to do your advocacy in a way that people will listen. Okay, that's what all marginalized groups have been having to do for the past hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. So
the video was already manually reviewed and demonetized. Fine, you want to take ads off the video? Great. But you take it down and give me a warning on my channel? You give me a preemptive strike, so now I don't have that security anymore, where I don't have that buffer, so now next time I just get a strike on my account. And yeah, I understand many people have come to me in DMs and said it too. Rich, it's not that big of a deal. Rich, you don't lose any functionality on your YouTube channel. But here is what happened, and here is the reason why I'm infuriated. Quantum TV, look, you want to keep them on the platform? Whatever. Okay. It's a weird choice. It's a very weird one, YouTube, but fine. But did I ever in a million years, for criticizing somebody, for making comedy about someone's insane takes, which is not bullying, it is criticism, did I think that not only would nothing happen with the irrefutable evidence that we have against Quantum TV, that instead of nothing happening, that people who talked about him would get punished? That I would get a warning on my account, that you want to put it there to make an example of, shh, you go by our rules. Even though the rules should be the same for everybody, these are the rules we feel like applying today. So shut your mouth is what YouTube was essentially saying to me.
Well, again, from the way he's saying it, it seems like you are intentionally pushing the line a little bit with like listen, I get it. A cucumber picture shouldn't be flagged for sexual harassment. But we saw it happen to Ackman, so why replicate that? Because almost like you're giving them an excuse to do something. They shouldn't do it, but they're demonstrated they're going to do it. So if your advocacy means something to you, you should take a deep breath. You know what I mean? And try to do the advocacy in a way that'll be long-lasting and impactful, rather than basically martyring yourself in a way. Because I think that's how it's coming off to a lot of people, is that people seem to be intentionally martyring yourself. And you know what? I know a lot of people are going to be angry about what I'm saying, and that's totally fine. But you being upset with what I'm saying isn't changing the reality of the world. Like, I'm just letting you know. You'd be like, "Come on, you're a fucking ass." Okay, but like, I'm not really wrong. I'm just lucky that I'm not so up in arms, so I'm not emotionally provoked by this situation. I don't have a connection to it, so I'm not like, it's easy to say what I'm saying when like I'm not like fucking personally attached to the situation. Clearly, Review Tech is, but like, bro. I mean, this is the advice from my perspective, from me being in shitty situations when I had my TikTok and my very large, whatever, who cares? These are the things that always helped me getting reasonable criticism, right? So like, that prevented me from going down like my fucking, like my fucking crazy conservative arc, because I had a buddy of mine. I would make jokes all the time, and he's like, I like your jokes, and every time you make them, I could tell they're a joke, and this time I can't tell he's a joke. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, hey, sometimes you just need to hear the practicality of the world, and it has a better impact on you, Bob.
And if you don't stand in line with the rules we feel like applying today, we're going to make an example of you. I don't play games like that. I have worked my ass off on this channel, YouTube, for the past 10 years. It's your platform. You could do whatever you like. But I have followed the rules. I have never abused anybody on this platform. I have never bullied anybody on this platform. And as far as I can remember, I've always gave that disclaimer and meant it. Leave the person alone that I am discussing in this video, whether it's from a positive light or a negative light. I've always made sure to keep it on YouTube. Keep it about the topic. Don't go after people. Okay. And you're going to turn around and say I was cyberbullying and harassing? And I'm going to say something else now, too, because I've been doing this for a very long time. And as a person who has always been pro Black Lives Matter, as a person that has always...
Now I already know you're racist. I'm just kidding.
My support for everyone of every race, color, creed, sexual orientation, and gender, and I've always been that way.
Where's the base
Something
take?
Here just smells off. You have a guy who has been proven to be a doxer, and a Banovator and saying horrible things countless times over and over again. Fine, you want to make that choice and leave him on the platform. That's okay. But I'm telling you now, and I'm going to be abundantly clear with this, I think because you didn't want to take him off the platform because you didn't like the optics of it. And you made sure to punish other people to make sure, hey, it's not, we can make the rules whatever we want to make them, but because of the color of Quantum TV's skin, we'll get backlash, so we don't want to apply the rules to him. And if you talk about him, we'll punish you.
I don't know. I gotta take a minute to like really absorb what he's saying. I have to take a little bit to absorb what he's saying, because like, listen, I'm in when I talk about a lot of the content I talk about talks about like marginalized groups and like shit like that. You know, you guys know. And I've heard it a lot where a white person will say, "Oh my God, this black person has like a particular privilege just for being black." And sometimes that could be a little bit of like a dog whistle. A lot of times when I hear it, it's usually a white person complaining about black people being treated equally, and they're having like the response of like, "Oh my God, I'm oppressed because they're actually not being treated as less than me." I don't think that's what's happening here. I just need a minute to like kind of swallow what he's saying. Because when I talked about my situation, sorry, I'm adjusting my Go Janglers. When I discussed the Quantum TV situation, a lot of this is very speculative, but I wouldn't doubt it that Quantum TV is getting bombarded with racial slurs from people, because that's kind of how the internet operates. That's how people operate. Like in general, like if you're angry at somebody, even your own friends, and they're like black, you'll be like, "Oh, you black bitch," instead of like, "You bitch," you know what I mean? Or they'll say, "You white bitch," you know what I mean? Like people tend to add in as much angry energy as possible. And so I think some people have taken the message from people like Review Tech, and they've weaponized it to be racist. They don't really care about what's going on. Those people, the racist people, they just want to be angry and feel justified in their anger. Just a reminder, QTV told gay people that they should have been victims of the polls. Yeah, I know about that, but the thing is that YouTube's already said we're not going to just look at screenshots, and those tweets don't exist anymore. So it's unfair, but that's their protocol, is to not take screenshots unless they can like validate it. I know the next response is like, "Yeah, but they took Ackman down for screenshots of a tweet he deleted." Like, yes, they saw the tweet though. They objectively know it exists, and then they asked them to take it down, but then it went up the chain and they decided to think. But either way, you get what I'm saying? Right? It doesn't matter. I just want you to understand, like, YouTube policy apparently will not use the Wayback Machine for whatever reason. I know, like, you guys, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys, like, unfortunately, you got to just take the L. Like, YouTube's not going to use particular programs to do particular things, whether it's fair or not. Like, this is the landscape that we're playing in. And, like, we can yell as much as we want, but sometimes you just have to be like, fuck, we got to just take an L. Like, sometimes life's just about taking an L even when you're supposed to take a W. You know what I mean? Life is fundamentally unfair sometimes. And it's like, it sucks, but it is what it is. And that, I'm not saying don't advocate against him. I'm saying that the best move now is to stop talking about Quantum TV. Let him fade out of existence. And if you catch him doing something again, then reapproach the topic. But like, you're really just not going to win. Would I use the Wayback Machine if I own YouTube? I don't know anything about the Wayback Machine in a robust enough way to be like, I would use that. So maybe the problem is that people at YouTube don't know if that is a viable source or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know the specifics on it. I'm just saying that's what they would go through it. Like, the reason they probably don't use screenshots is because they're not necessarily verifiable. Anyway, back to the original point that I was trying to make is that Quantum is probably getting a bunch of like targeted slurs hit at him, and he's also probably complaining to YouTube that there's like a level of harassment and racism, and he probably can prove it with screenshots. And so part of it, YouTube might just be like, yeah, they might be saying like, fuck, this guy is being bombarded with tons of racism for things that he's doing. Let's just like move on. Or maybe YouTube made a lazy call and they're just doubling down on it. I don't really know. It's possible that his being black has something to do with it, but I would argue that him being black has more to do with people calling him like the N-word in DMs and him being able to prove that and show YouTube, rather than like, oh man, I don't want to ban a black person on Juneteenth or whatever. you know, it's possible. I mean, we can get really woke and go into like the conversation about like subconscious fucking biases and racism, and maybe only reason everybody's hating on Quantum and not just moving on is because he's black and they look at black people a little differently, but that's probably not the case. That's a little bit too woke of a take. Bro, what are you saying, bro? Come on. Holy fuck. You guys even listen to what I'm saying? The N-word's not even that bad. Oh my god. You're so fucking annoying. Are you fucking trolling me right now? You don't think the N-word's that bad? Shit, dude, say it. Say it right now. Say it in the mic. Say it right now, dude. If you say it, I'm going to ban you. Because it is that bad. You can't say it because it'll be monitored, but it is that bad, okay? It is probably the worst slur you can call anybody in the English language, or at least in America. I don't know about other places. Yeah, he's fucking trolling me, you bastard. Okay. Okay. So, yeah.
I've seen people on this platform get far harsher punishments for way less than Quantum TV has done. And for some reason, he's protected. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I personally just wouldn't have touched the race issue here, but okay.
But honestly, right now, from where I'm standing, YouTube, it doesn't look good. And if anyone wants to call me a racist because of that, which I'm goddamn not, then so be it. So my plan going forward is this. On this channel, I'll have highlights of my streams. Maybe if it's a news topic, even a controversial topic, I'll have it here. God. If it gets demonetized or limited ads, so be it. That's fine. But my main focus is going to be live streaming, whether it be on RTU streams.
Listen. Whether the advice is wanted or not, the G slur is far worse. What is that, gut? Personally, I wouldn't devastate your main channel just to, because it's like. Like, I get it. Like, you're fucking really pissed, and you're like, fuck this. I'm just going to put all my attention into another channel. Gamer. Oh, yeah, it's a bad slur. I think that, like, the self-destruction of your main platform, because you're angry. You're like, fuck this platform. I want to move on. I'm going to focus on my other platform with different type of content. That's what I'm going to do. And it makes sense on paper, and I've been there 100% with other channels and whatnot. And like TikTok specifically. And for those of you who don't know, not that you, but if you know, like I used to have like 2.5 million followers and I was verified. Like I've been there before, and I've sabotaged my own platform and whatnot. Yeah. It's again, it's an emotional response that's going to end up having a negative impact on your channel. You're better off just kind of just taking a break from the main channel and then like focusing on the alt channel. I'm just saying. I personally don't think it's a great idea to kind of destroy your channel, but you know. I'm just saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Or I go over to Twitch, which I have a partnership on Twitch. Again, I'll have both linked below in the description, and I'll go from there.
Also, partnership on Twitch, bro. I've been thinking about abandoning my partnership on Twitch for YouTube. I'm waiting a little bit till like the summer-ish to see if they're going to open up dual streaming and allow it. But like, I feel like TikTok, or excuse me, Twitter, fuck. Twitch is not really a viable... I don't know, dude. I would probably dual stream, but...
You know, when I started doing YouTube back in 2013, everyone told me that I was nuts. This is not a safe option. And again, now, almost a decade later, when people realize what I'm doing with ReviewTechUSA, because I'm very angry at what happened here, because I am not a bullier, I am not a TOS abuser.
I am.
They're telling me I'm nuts again. What are you doing? You just hit 1 million subscribers. This is... Why... Just be safe. Just do as you're told. No, I'm not doing as I'm told. On this main channel...
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is martyr energy. I'm not saying to stop talking about the topic, but like, there's clearly better ways to talk about the topic. To be careful. I mean, you just kind of have to play the game, unfortunately.
There'll be stream highlights. There'll be the occasional high production value video. But in terms of regular videos, until I get an apology from YouTube...
Hey. Someone in the chat just said, take a drink every time Papa mentions he was banned 2.1 million followers. I was 2.4 million. And verified. Don't you fucking dare misremember that, okay? I swear to Christ, I will roundhouse your ass, all right?
Nah.
I will roundhouse your ass.
Because now think of what you're doing right now, YouTube. You have set a precedent that not only you'll just cherry pick when you actually enforce your own terms of service, if it's for a person for whatever reason that you want to protect, or you don't feel like using the TOS, you don't feel like enforcing the TOS against them, that the people who call out the people who are violating TOS, not only will something not be done, they may be punished. And I'm supposed to just be okay with that? No way. I know I'm still on YouTube, and a lot of people are like, Rich, that's like saying that you're going to boycott a grocery store, but you're just going to still buy milk there. Valid point, but here's the thing. I get to be who I truly am, even on YouTube when I live stream.
Okay.
Here, for the past half decade, I've had to cherry pick what I've had to say. I've had to think about every word that has come out of my mouth, and the you in YouTube has been dead for a very long time.
I don't know,
and
man. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not nearly as big as this guy, but I very rarely feel silence on YouTube, and I guarantee you I talk about topics that are much more intense than this guy. Not always, but like I guarantee you that like my most intense videos are much, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I talk about like a lot of controversial shit. We talk a lot about, like I said before, we talk a lot about sexual assault. We talk a lot about like a ton of different issues. Like I know I'm fatter than him. Thank you when I say bigger. I'm just saying, I feel like that's maybe like you're just kind of afraid to talk about some stuff, and maybe this is you like finally taking a stand. I'm not going to worry about what I have to say anymore, you know? I'm just saying, dude.
Can't stand for this. This is something that I have to do not only for my own livelihood, so I can be me and be who I truly am, which is what made people subscribe to me. You got to do this for this damn platform.
Bro, if YouTube censors me, it's fat shaming, and then I could just say that they're fat phobic. Got him.
What is it going to become? Just a bunch of videos of Fortnite and Minecraft and people cutting through sand so kids watch it? Maybe. Because that's where advertisers want to slap their ads all over? That's not YouTube then. Everyone might as well just go off and watch regular network TV, just like they did in the 90s and 2000s. I don't really know what to say right now. I'm very frustrated, but I can't back down. I got to stand up to this. And if it means that I'm not fit for the YouTube platform anymore, that's their choice. But I've let my feelings be known, and it had to be said. So if you want to continue to follow me and support me, please subscribe to me over on RTU Streams. You can follow me on Twitch. And the best thing you could do, if you can, is become a member on my secondary channel, RTU Streams. There'll be a link to becoming a member below in the description as well. This had to be said. It may bite me in the ass, but so be it. I didn't get where I got to by being scared and staying safe. I push limits. And here's another one.
Well, you kind of just said that you haven't been pushing limits for like 7 years. But anyway, listen, okay? Let me end this off. I know I'm just some fat guy on the internet, and I know people are frustrated and they're irritated, and I get it. But this is the listen, man. I would just advise take a quick break, come back, and if Quantum does more shit, call him out. Just take the L on this one. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are. Here's the thing: a lot of people are gassing up this. There's less people that are as invested in the situation because they've looked at it and they've gone, okay, I think that some people, in some ways, might be overreacting. And I know it's not fair, but like it's really not as big of a deal as you guys are making it seem like. I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole. I'm just telling you what other people will not say. But that's where the conversation is shifted. And there are still people who are looking at what you're saying and they're like, yeah, you're justified. But every day those people lessen, and every day those people who are validate or over validating this feeling are pushing you to a point of like self-destruction. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. They're also not going to follow you. Like, they might follow you to that channel, but it's not like all these people are like, yeah, destroy your main channel and make an all channel. They're not fucking following you and supporting you like hardcore. Like, yeah. I'm not trying to be a fucking dickhead. I'm not even saying don't do an alt channel. That's perfect. That's a great idea. I have an alt channel. It actually helps a lot. It's really cool. It's like, it's a de-stressor. It's less, I don't give a fuck. I post whatever the fuck I want on my alt channel. I don't care if it does well or not, which helps a lot. But, dude, stop talking about my fucking hairline, okay? What the fuck is going on in my chat today? All I'm saying, man, maybe think it over before you make anything, do a rash decision. You know what I mean? Maybe think it over for a minute. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.